Sky is so high, if you don't know how to fly, Ainfield is here to make you fly. Sky is so high, if you don't know how to fly, Ainfield is here to make you fly. Here we go.
Yeah, and write down what I'm saying. So give a heading of duties and responsibilities of a cabin crew, and underneath that the first point is safety and security of passengers. And that is very important. You are not there to serve them only, you are there to take care of them. Alright? The second one is quick thinking. Alina, Janvi, why can't you switch on your cameras? The third one is excellent teamwork. The guys who didn't wrote it down before, just write it down now and just understand what I'm talking about, okay? And don't you dare to give me wrong answers this time. The fourth one is take initiatives. And the fifth one is organizational skills. Okay? Written all five? Alright. So now we will write down, give the heading of phases of flight. Okay, who will tell me any idea about what are the phases of flight? No idea? Maybe I have not given you the heading before, but I have told you what are pre-flight, what is boarding, what is after takeoff, what is securance. I have told you all this, right? Yes or no? Okay, so phases, I'll just write it down here in the chat box. Easy to phases of flight. So the first phase is the reporting to the airport. Okay, what we do when I say reporting at the airport, what does that mean to anyone? Reporting at the airport means what?
We will reach the airport at time.
Okay, so when you guys supposed to report at the airport?
Before 3 hours, normal airport flight.
Of course, you will report before the flight. You will not report after the flight. Once the flight.
Before 3 hours of the flight, boarding flight.
Before 2 hours of the flight, we're supposed to report at the airport. Okay, 2 hours before the departure. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Okay, we're supposed to report at the airport 2 hours before the departure. That is our reporting to the airport. Once we report the airport, what are we supposed to do?
BA test.
Exactly. We'll go to the office and we will do the BA test. Now, Shru, do you know what is BA test?
Breath analysis.
Where we can go.
I'm talking to Shri actually. I'm sure she doesn't know what we are talking about. Shri, are you there? Okay. So, we will woke at the airport 2 hours prior to the departure, and then the first thing you will go and will do our BA test. BA test is breath analysis test. That will, just a moment. Okay, so that will make that just to make sure that you guys are not drunk before the flight. You should be in your senses when you are going to operate the flight. Okay, so as soon as you reach the airport, you will go for a breath analysis test. If the test is positive, you are not going on the flight. Okay, that is a different procedure. But if you are test negative, that means you haven't took alcohol 12 hours before the flight. You're supposed to stop before 12 hours. Okay, 12 hours of departure, just stop drinking. And also it depends on body to body and what you are drinking. Okay, so it's not like that you have stopped 12 hours prior but you were drinking whiskey a lot. Could be a possibility. It still stays in your system and the BA test comes positive. So they say 12 hours, but it's better if you take 15 to 16 hours before the flight. Okay, because every individual is different. One thing. Second thing, if you are the BA test comes positive for the first time, what will happen, guys?
3 months suspension. 3 months suspension.
For how long?
3 months.
3 months.
3 months. You guys would be, and not you guys, God forbid, but whoever tested positive for the first time, that person will be shut down of the company for first 3 months, and there will be no salary to them. Okay, first time. If you came BA positive second time, then what happens?
Suspend for 1 year.
You guys are continuously suspended for 1 year without any salary. And if the person came positive for the third time, then what happens?
Cancel out license.
The license will be cancelled. You will be thrown out of the country forever. There will be no other chance, and you cannot fly out. Okay? Understood? So, first time BA, what happens, Shri? You tell me now.
For the first time, they will get suspended for 3 months, and second time, they will get suspended for 1 year, and third time, they will cancel their license.
Exactly, very good. So that is a policy for BA test. So guys, after the BA test, what happens? What do you guys do once you are done with the BA test?
Office work.
What is the office work?
We can sign in the paper.
What paper? What paper? What do you do after the BA test? What do you guys do? Who will tell me what do you guys do once you have done the BA? What will be the next course of action you're supposed to do? Guys, what are you supposed to do next? Come on. After the BA, what do you do? Do you do nothing? Go back home.
We go and meet our members and
Can you guys see me now, Shubham? Am I visible? I mean, I guess there is something wrong with my camera. I know that. Is it a little better now, by any chance? Okay, cool. Alright. Okay, so the first thing, audio is not clear. Am I not audible to you guys? Actually, I have a very bad throat, so that's why I'm drinking a lot of water. Maybe I'm not able to talk at a very high pace, but I'm trying my level best. Okay. I was saying, what do you do after you are done with your BA test? You guys better give me answer for that. Janvi, what do we do after the BA test?
Stop.
We will go there.
Start your class. In cabin.
In the cabin. Janvi, please. Okay, Shikha, you tell me what do we do after the BA test? Ankita, you tell me. Switch on your cameras, guys. Please do not switch off the cameras. I'm not going to say this again and again. Ankita, first of all, switch on your camera and then talk. What do you do after the BA test?
Sometimes we go to the office.
You are already in the office where you are doing the BA test. It's in the office. What will be the next step?
We will sign the paper.
What paper?
When we reach, we note our timing.
Okay. So that is the paper you will sign. That means you have reported to the airport. Once you are done with your BA, you go and sign the papers where you have to write down your reporting time, at what time you have reported to the airport. Okay? After that,
We go to the we go to the
yeah, right, say it.
we go to the aircraft.
Very good. Very good.
Go to the purser and the captain.
Exactly. You will not meet the purser. You will not meet the captain. You will directly go to the aircraft. Times I have asked you how you will introduce yourself to the purser, how you will introduce yourself to the captain, what information you will get from the purser, what information you get from the captain. You guys really don't remember this thing. So why you didn't answer that? Am I speaking Chinese that you don't understand what I'm talking about and what I'm asking you? You guys are really checking my patience. You guys, did I told you this before that you're supposed to meet and greet your captain in person? You guys don't know what you, and now you better answer this. What will it's the information you will get from the purser. Shivam, you just stay quiet. What information you will get from the purser?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
I said what all information you will get from the purser. Okay, now listen to me. Once you are done with your BA, you will go sign the paper where you will sign that, okay, I have reported at this point of time. I have reported the aircraft. Okay? And then you will meet your purser. Purser is the senior most person of the aircraft or between your crew. Okay? So he is responsible for the cabin. So you will go to the purser, greet yourself, greet the purser and tell them your name and tell them that you are flying with them. You should know the name of the purser and then you will get few information from the purser. What will be that information?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, Rohit, please.
Ma'am, they will give the checklist of the staff and the passengers.
What checklist?
Ma'am, the passengers checklist.
Passenger checklist? What is that
Ma'am,
passenger?
The number of passengers.
Take all the qualities and quantities of the oxygen.
Anyone else?
She'll say about how many passengers are there on flight, and is there how many children, how many handicapped persons, or there VIP person on board, and for the
So
cabin.
we don't say, Shubham, we don't say handicap, it's very offensive. So we just say special handling passengers. Okay, or wheelchair passengers. Because if you call someone handicapped, it's really offensive, right? So you better say special handling passengers or wheelchair passengers, because they need special assistance to special handling passengers. Alright? Okay. So now listen to me carefully. Everybody. Once we are done with the BA, we sign the paper that we have. Write it down if you guys don't remember these things. Just write it down so that you can refer to that particular thing, okay? Make points. So first thing, you report at the airport, you do the BA. Second thing, you sign the paper, that means you have reported the airport at this point of time. Third thing, you will meet your purser. Now please tell me, how will you meet your purser? How will you greet them? Who will tell me? No, Shubham. Yes, Jan.
Good morning, good afternoon, welcome Mr. Sharma. My name is Jami Tiwari. I'm today I'm flying to the Mumbai office.
Okay, great. So, first thing first, that salutation should be used with the last name. So, Mr., Mrs. or Miss should be used with the last name. For example, my name is Mrs. Sharma now. So, if you are confused that the lady is married or single, it's always good to call a lady by Miss. If you don't know that she's married or not. Okay? Don't just judge and say Mrs. because girls get offended. Alright? So, most of the time or maximum time, or make it a habit, use Miss for everyone. So Miss and the last name. Or you can also call it like Miss Dipali call, or you can also say Miss call, whatever you feel like. So salutation and last name. Okay? So we will say, good afternoon, Miss Sharma. My name is Dipali and we are flying together today. Okay? So even for your interviews, if you are going to meet the person, you should greet them also. Okay? If you know their last name, call them with their last name by calling Miss or Mrs. or Mr. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? It's always good to ask them. I always ask you, right? Whenever we guys meet every day, I ask you, how are you guys doing today? So it's always good to ask. Okay? So just ask, or you can ask that, how are you doing today? I hope you are doing good today. Things like that. So you will say, good afternoon, Mrs. Sharma. My name is Dipali and we are flying today. We are flying together. So that's how you introduce yourself to the purser. So once everybody introduce themselves to the purser or to the group of people, and if there are 10 number of people standing in front of you in a group, for example, you are doing an international flight, there are 10 people, you will say, good afternoon everyone, my name is Dipali and we are flying today. Or maybe they can ask you that which batch you are from and all those things. You will come to know later. Okay. Now write it down on your notebook, and you better remember this thing. Don't forget. The information you will get from the purser. The first thing, she will tell you the load. Load, that means number of passengers on board on that particular flight. The flight is full, the flight is half, or the particular number, for example, 120 passengers on board, 150 passengers on board, 200 passengers on board. She will tell you the number of passengers on board. Second thing, she will tell you if there is special handling passengers on board. In special handling, what does that mean? There could be a possibility that person cannot, person needs assistance for everything, even in walking. Okay, so wheelchair passengers or old age passengers, those are the special handling passengers, those who need assistance. Alright? Third, they will tell you number of infants on board. Okay? All these things the purser will tell you. Also, the purser will discuss the emergency procedures, and could be a possibility he or she will ask you questions. That what in case of emergency you will do if this situation arises. For example, I gave you a situation that okay, this has happened. What will you do? What will your course of action? She can ask you any question in the briefing just to make sure that in case there is an emergency on board, you are well prepared to handle that emergency. Okay? So there will be a question answer round in the briefing. Every day, if you are flying every day, she can ask you that okay, if there is a fire on board, what will you do? How will you handle the fire? How will you handle an unruly passenger? Okay, so don't worry about that because I have not told you each and every procedure, because every airline has a different procedure, firefighting procedures and everything that they will tell you in the training, their particular procedures, and they will discuss that in the briefing. And just imagine every day before the flight there will be a small test, and if you will not answer those questions, and if she realizes that this person is not fit for the flight because she or he doesn't know how to perform in case of emergency, she can very well go to the office and ask them that I'm not taking this person on board because she is not prepared for the flight, she doesn't know how to handle the passenger, she doesn't know how to act in case of emergency. Okay, so an office will not let you go on that flight because, as I told you, the primary duty and responsibility of a cabin crew is safety. And if you are unable to do that, nobody needs you on board. Okay? So yeah, that will happen in the purser briefing. Understood? What will happen? Who will tell me? What will you discuss with the purser? First thing first, start from the very first thing. Tell me now. Tell me now.
First is the purser and brief them. Then they will tell us about the number of passengers, number of special handling passengers, and how many infants.
Infants on board. Infants are the small babies who are under the age of 1 to 2 years or old babies. Those who cannot take another seat, a different seat, so they sit on the parents' lap. Okay? So understood everyone, and there at the end there will be a question answer round done. Okay? Alright. Also, before the flight, just write down what I'm saying. You guys should know the flight number. So what I used to do, most of the group does that. They take a small paper like a sticky notes. Okay, you know what sticky notes is, right? It's a small piece of paper. So in that paper, we write the flight number. Okay, just write it down because I'm gonna ask that what you guys should know before going to the flight. So this is one of the things. You guys should write down the flight number in that, the departure time and landing time. Captain's name, first officer name, and the crew name should be written on that. Captain and first officer is very important, should be there. Because if somebody asks you, even if you don't remember, you can take it out that paper, you can see and you can tell the other person, okay, he is the captain on board today. So the flight number, the departure time and the landing time, because most of the time passengers will ask you that, okay, what time we are landing there. So you guys should know the landing time also. So departure time, landing time, captain's name, first officer's name, purser name. And also you should know the registration of the aircraft. I have told you what is the registration. Tell me what do you mean by registration of an aircraft? Anybody? What is registration of an aircraft?
Manufacturing.
No. Okay, so all of you have a different name, right? And whosoever knows you, call you by that name, right? For example, my name is Dipali, everybody calls me Dipali. Your name is Shubham, her name is Janvi, Alina. Everybody has a particular name. That means that's their identity, right? So that's how you know the other person. If you talk about Dipali, you guys will start thinking about me because you know me, right? There will be n number of Dipalis, I'm sure, but when we're talking about class and when you talk about Dipali, you will understand that okay, they're talking about me. Similarly, if in a class if I'm talking to Shubham, I'll take a name Shubham. That means I'm talking to a particular person, right? Similarly, every aircraft has a particular name. Okay? So that particular name is actually the registration number. So now you guys have a birth certificates, right? So on those birth certificates, you have your name. So that means that is your registration. Similarly, the aircraft has a registration number or registration name. So that registration name is of 3 letters. Any random 3 letters. So how we represent it, it's like VT. I'll tell you. I'll write it down here. Wait. Just check the chat box. I have written VT. So VT will always be there. VT, just understand whenever there is a VT, that means if we are talking about the registration of an aircraft. It will be the same for all the flights, all the airlines. VT will be there. So now in Indigo, they use IN. Okay? IN is the initial. If I talk about IN, that means they are talking about Indigo. Okay? So similarly, different airlines have different things. For example, I guess for Air India, it's AI, but it's not necessary that will be the initial of every airline. That's not important. Okay? I guess SpiceJet have something else and other airlines have something else. So if I say IN, that means it's Indigo. And the last alphabet, that could be anything. So that differentiates a particular aircraft from the other aircraft. So VT will be same for all the airlines across the world. VT will be there. Okay. IN represents the name of the particular airline. And the last alphabet is different for different aircraft. That will make it different. Similarly, we could have the same name but the different surnames. That's how we distinguish, right? There could be a Dipali, another Dipali, but how we will distinguish? With their surname. My name is Sharma, their name could be anything else. Similarly, IN, that means they are from a particular company, particular airline, and F could be their last name. And F differentiate them from other aircrafts. Any doubts in this? Because the way I explained you, I want the same answers from you. If you have any doubts, I can explain it again. Any doubts, guys? So now you know what is the registration means. It's actually the name of the aircraft. Different aircrafts have different registration. That's how we distinguish between the aircrafts. Okay. So what all information you guys should have before going to the airport?
Flight number, departure
Registration of aircraft.
Great. So when I ask you a question that what all information you guys should have before going to the aircraft, you're supposed to tell me all these information. When I ask you what time you guys supposed to report at the airport, 2 hours prior to the departure. That will be your answer. If I ask you what will be the first thing you guys will do once you reach the airport, the BA test. What will you do after BA test? You will sign the paper. This is your reporting time. The third thing you do after that, you will meet the purser. Once you meet the purser, what all things you supposed to do, you will tell me that. Okay, you will tell me what we will do once we meet the purser, what is the procedure, what all things need to be done.
We should greet them.
Okay, Shri, we should greet them. How you will greet the person?
By saying first we should wish them. We should say their use their salutation and last name. Next, we should introduce ourselves by saying my name is this, and we should say we are flying together.
Okay, so just greet me. Imagine I'm your purser. Just greet me. How will you greet the person?
Miss Dibali, my name is Nomika Sri. We are flying together.
Okay. So what mistake she has done? Anybody?
Good afternoon.
First name with the salutation. You're supposed to use the last name with the salutation. So if Shri, just understand one thing. If you are using Miss, Mrs, whatever you are using as a salutation, either you take the full name like Dipali Sharma, or if you just take the name Mrs. Sharma. You don't use the salutation with the first name. Okay? So you will do how you will greet now.
Good afternoon, Miss Sharma. My name is Nomika Sri. We are flying together.
Right, exactly, that is the way. And after that, what you will do? What information you will get from the person?
Number of loads and special handling passengers and infants on the ward and emergency procedures.
Yeah, there will be a question answer round where you will discuss the emergency procedures. Right. Good. Okay. So now, once we are done with the purser briefing, we will go and meet the captain, right? So similarly, the way you greeted the purser, you will greet the captain. But what will be the difference? You will not use the salutation Mr., Mrs. for the captain. What will be the salutation?
Captain.
So you will say Captain Sharma, and then you will, first of all, you will greet them. For example, good afternoon, Captain Sharma. My name is Dipali and I am flying with you. Okay? So for captains, the salutation is always Captain, no Mr., Mrs., anything. Understood? So now what information you will get from the captain?
Whether it is turbulence or not.
Right? You will get to know about the weather. That whether it will be a turbulence or what kind of weather it will be. The captain will inform you that, the first thing. The second thing,
About any emergency.
Captain already knows that there will be an emergency. Nobody knows that it will be an emergency. If you know it before, nobody is gonna board the flight. The captain himself will say, I'm not gonna fly the aircraft because there will be an emergency. Nobody knows about the emergency. The first thing, the captain will tell you about the turbulence, about the weather. The second thing, the captain will tell you about the flying time. The exact flying time. Because whatever the time is there on the ticket or on your roster, that will be approximately time, and that time is actually, they take buffer time. For example, the aircraft will take 50 minutes from here till Amritsar. There will be a 1 hour 5 minutes on the ticket, so that the passengers will not create a ruckus, right? But at that point of time, the captain will tell you the exact flying time. For example, captain will say the flying time will be 50 minutes. Okay, so that will be the exact time from takeoff to touchdown. Okay, so the first thing is weather. The second thing is flying time. The third thing, anyone?
Destination.
Is there any delay?
Is there any delay? Alright, if there is any kind of delay in the flight, the captain will inform me, because most of the time the flight is coming from some other destination. Right? The aircraft is, for example, you are in Delhi, you are flying to Mumbai, but the aircraft is coming from Chennai. So there could be a possibility the aircraft landed a little late. So if the aircraft will land late here in Delhi, then there will be a cleaning, then there will be a security check, and then you will board the aircraft. Okay? So it will take time. So if there is any delay, the captain will inform you, okay, the aircraft is coming a little delayed. So there will be a little delay in the takeoff or maybe in landing. Okay, he will inform you about the delay. Also, captain has a logbook, or you can say a checklist, not a checklist, information sheet. In that sheet, if there is any problem in the cabin, or if there is any equipment which is not there, it's written there. Okay, we call it MEL, that is minimal equipment list. Yeah, so there are few things without which you can take off. Okay, there are few things. For example, if a lavatory is unserviceable, in the lavatory the flush is not working, and for example, there is no water in the wash basin. So we have 3 labs in the aircraft, in smaller aircraft. Okay, if the one of them is not working, that is fine. We can take off without that. Okay, so these kinds of things, if for example, if the boiler is not working at the back, that means we have 2 boilers, one in the forward, one in the aft. If one is not working, that means another one is working. So we can take off with that. Right? We are not going to delay the flight, or we are not going to cancel the flight because one lavatory is not working or one boiler is not working. Okay? That is not the emergency thing which we really need. Because we have 2 extra lavatories. If a passenger wants to use a lavatory, he can use another lavatory. We have the option, right? But for example, if we don't have the oxygen bottle, then we cannot take off. Because in case there is a medical emergency and we don't have the oxygen bottle, that means the passenger, there could be a possibility the passenger will die without the oxygen bottle. So we cannot take off without an oxygen bottle. Or if we have, for example, we need 4 and there are only 3, which captain calls. But all this information captain already has. For example, one of the interphone is not working. We have 3 interphones, 2 at the back, 1 at the forward. So if one interphone at the back is not working, we can use another one. Right? So these kind of things, if there is any equipment is not working or these things are not happening, the captain will inform you on ground. Okay. Also, if you go and flight and in the pre-flight check, if we check there is few things that are also not working, you will inform the captain. Understood? So, what all information you will get from the captain in the briefing?
How do they work? Delay timing. Correct exact time. How many time it will take to reach the destination? If it's still
Actual flying time. Okay. So first thing, weather. Second thing, actual flying time. Third thing, if there is any delay. Fourth thing, if there is, if anything is not working in the aircraft, if anything is on MEL. Let me check the full form of MEL. It's actual minimal equipment list, but I'll cross check. Minimum equipment list, yes. So MEL, that means minimum equipment list. Understood? Any doubt? Any doubt? No? Okay, great. Okay, so this is the first phase which is going on so far. Okay, that is reporting to the airport. So once you report the airport, you do all this ground things, and now you met the captains also. Everything is done. Now you will leave for the aircraft. Okay, now you all will go to the aircraft. Could be a possibility captains are going with you. Could be a possibility that captain will come little late because they have to do a little bit of paperwork. But most of the airlines encourage that thing that everybody should walk together to the aircraft. But if captains have to do some work, then they can stay back and you guys proceed towards the aircraft. Okay. So once you reach the aircraft, here comes the second phase. That is pre-flight. Let me write it down. Second phase is okay. So second phase is pre-flight. Yeah. Second phase is pre-flight. So in pre-flight, what we do is, who will be the first person to enter the aircraft before the passenger boarding? Cabin crew. Okay. So you will enter the aircraft, and the first thing you do is
you will check all the safety equipment, whether it's costume and proper number are there or not.
okay. Yes. So the first thing we do once we enter the aircraft is we do the pre-flight check of the equipment. For that, I want to show you a video so that it will remain in your system. Okay, let me open YouTube first. Just bear with me. Okay, who will tell me what is pre-flight check? Explain me what is pre-flight check.
Checking all the equipment.
Okay, checking all the equipment. How do you check the equipment? What you guys should know about the equipment?
Basically the quantity, quality and the numbers.
Very good, yes. Wait, let me check if I have. Just be with me. Just be here for a moment. Let me check.
Say it just in as I hold your head high, here we go. so high. If you don't know how to fly, aim for easier to make you fly. I'm gonna fly one day, sure I'm gonna fly one day, and it's gonna feel so right someday.
Ma'am, voice is not clear.
Fly one day, sure
Can't hear.
fly one day, I'm gonna spread my wings someday. Fly away with it.
Okay, so I'm showing you a video which is regarding the pre-flight check of the flight. Once crew board the aircraft, what all you guys supposed to do. So just have a look.
We all have assigned seats, jet seats, where we all sit for takeoff and landing. And we have different areas that we have to check really thoroughly to check all the equipment, the doors, the hat racks, the seats, underneath the seats. We have to, it's really quite full on. That's for us is the most important part, to make sure that the aircraft is safe to go, safe to fly. We then have to prep the bar. We've got the bar area of the class. Every passenger gets water, so all the water cells. We've got the headsets, the immunity kits, all those kind of things. And as soon as all of that is done, we pass that on to the management and passengers can get on. But it's quite full on time. So we have pre-flight briefings before outbound and inbound flights, where we get together with the whole crew, the F7 and the cabin service supervisors. And we tend to go through the aircraft type, any changes that or any differences that there are between the aircraft types. So just to get our minds into the safety and security aspects. And then we'll talk through the services, talk through any kind of special requirements that we have on board, any wheelchair passengers, all that kind of things that are relevant to the flight today.
It's nice flight, so try to keep everything nice. Great flight, thank you.
Now the cabins are prepped and the bar is ready to go for passengers to have their pre-flight drinks. The crew are on and done all the safety and security checks, so it just leaves the passengers to get on board, and then we've just got 7 hours before we get back to London. So,
I'm gonna fly one day, I'm gonna fly one day, I'm gonna spread my wings someday. Fly away with a thrill today. Fly away, 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 rise over the sky.
So once again, I'm on an empty aircraft. It's our shoulder season, so we tend to have a lot of flights. We're only taking people home in our shoulder season, and this is one of those. Today I thought I'd take the opportunity to go through some pre-flight checks with you and show you some of the things we do prior to takeoff. Now what we have here is one of our overhead bins that's dedicated for emergency equipment. And here we have a manual demo kit.
Okay, so guys, just have a look. This is the oxygen bottle which we have. That means it's secured in its particular location, because each and every equipment has a particular location, so that you don't have to run here and there to find it out. So similarly, this they have secured it here. Different aircrafts, different airlines have different procedures how to secure, where to secure, but you guys should know that. Okay, there will be a question in your Viva once you get through, that where is the oxygen bottle is kept. Okay, so you guys need to learn, and this is something regarding to the aircraft and regarding to the airline that I cannot tell you. but you guys just need to know that they have a particular location to keep everything. So this is the demo kit, this is the oxygen bottle, this may be the this is the demo kit, this is the oxygen bottle, and this could be their first aid kit or medical kit, anything. Okay, so they have a particular location and particular number for that.
And the yellow patch there got the oxygen mask. Oxygen mask is the oxygen cylinder. Now, the oxygen cylinder, these ones particularly are used in the event of a decompression, although if we have to, we can also use them for first aid purposes. So I'm going to take one of these right out and show you what the flight check is on one of these. So the first pre-flight check for these things is we make sure that they're at a minimum of 1500 psi, which you can see here we are meeting the minimum requirement on this particular model. The green caps there are test caps, so make sure those are in place. In use, we would put our oxygen mask in there. Of course, we want to make sure that the valve is off. And that we have this green guitar-style strap attached as well. And that's it. And normally we'll do the pre-flight check without removing it from storage, but for the sake of showing you this model, I wanted to take it right out. We'll start with the first aid kit here. The pre-flight check on the first aid kit is really simple. Just make sure those green seals are in place. If the green seals are there, that means the first aid kit has not been accessed since the last time it was checked, and that means that it's good to go. If the seals are yellow, that means somebody's used it, but it still meets the minimum requirements. And if the seals are not there, then we have to open up the bin and make sure that everything is present. Over here we have our megaphone used in the event of an emergency, for an evacuation route, or if perhaps we need to talk to everyone and the interphone is not working. Pre-flight check, squeeze the trigger. Makes a clicking sound, that means the battery is charged, and we're good to go. Fire extinguisher is another simple pre-flight check. We need to make sure that the needle here is in the green zone. The metal pin and the red seal are in place and intact, and that the nozzle is clear of obstruction. Of course, you want to make sure that the fire extinguisher is present and secure, which you can see safely clasped in place. And we have the pre-flight check on our jump suit test. We don't fire every flight just like any other pre-flight check. On the jump suit, we need to make sure that when we pull down the seat itself, it has to be self-stowed.
Sky so high, don't know how to fly.
Alright guys, so these are the jump seats, okay, where cabin crew sits. Okay, so these are always like that, spring loaded. So as soon as you get up from the seat goes back to its original place. Anyone has an idea why the jump seats are like that? Why the jump seats are not like the passenger seats? Why they have spring loaded all the time? Any idea? Anyone? Switch on your cameras.
Because it's nearby territory.
Okay, Saurav, because it is near to the exit. That's why. Saurav, you were saying something.
Just because it's an exit door.
Exactly.
Right.
That's an exit door. As you guys can see, we have a door here. So if the seats will stay like that, then nobody can evacuate from here. It's not about evacuation. Nobody can board the aircraft if the seat is there at the door. So as soon as you get up from the seat, it goes back to its original position and the door is all yours. Okay, there is no obstruction in the door. So anybody can move around. It's for that. So these are the jump seats, okay?
Going to stand up and release stones. And sequence straps will hold lightly all the way down. Always make sure that it's tucked and sequence locked. And of course, make sure there's no fray in the strap as well. Underneath the seats.
So these are all the safety equipment which is under your seat. Why it is under your seat? Any idea? why the emergency equipments are under your seat.
So you have access to that.
Exactly, very good, Saurabh, because we have a very quick access. For example, there is a ditching, you just need to open that and get the life jacket. You can wear the life jacket. You don't have to run here and there and look for the life jacket. It's just underneath your seat. Flashlight is just underneath your seat, because in case of smoke, you just take out the flashlight and ask the passengers to come that, switch it on and show the passengers that this is the exit, come this way. Okay, so these equipments are very much, they have easy access. That's why they have kept it here.
We have more emergency equipment. You can see the flashlight there with the little red light at the front. That light will blink every 10 seconds or sooner. If it takes longer than 10 seconds, then that means the battery is not adequately charged. There's an exception to that. If it's extremely cold weather in the aircraft is being cold and maybe slightly slower. We have our crew life jackets, our checklist. In case you're going to do a check-in, you can always refer to those checklists. And we have the smoke net, which we can put on the name of the fire to continue breathing away.
Smoke hood is PVE. Okay, few people call it smoke hood, few people call it PVE. So it's one and the same thing.
Fire, please light check here to make sure that this locking clamp is in place. And the seal, the yellow seal inside is not broken. It's also important to make sure that this is present here. Here does have this strap to take around around the scope. Alright, and then the jump seat. Light check.
Now you guys got the idea of pre-flight check. What is pre-flight?
That's not.
Everybody understood? Switch on the camera screen. Everybody understood. What are the pre-flight checks? How we check the equipment? So, for example, you saw the oxygen bottle. In oxygen bottle, you were checking in the pressure gauge that I need to mute your video. Sorry. Okay. So in the oxygen bottle, there was a pressure gauge, right? In that pressure gauge, you check the needle should be in a particular position. That is 1500 psi to full. I mean, I know that. So that's why I'm saying once you start doing it, you guys should know all these things. Okay? It is in the particular location. The knobs should be closed, and the sling, which we what do you call that sling, right? With the help of sling, we hang the oxygen bottle around our shoulder. So that should be in proper position. It should not be toned out. Okay. So we check all those things. It should be secured in location. For PVE, we check that it is sealed. There is a yellow seal inside it. These things you guys will come to know once you will start getting trained for those things. Okay. For the fire extinguisher, we check again in the gauge. We check for the needle, and we check the seal is intact. For first aid kit, the seal should be there. If it is sealed, that means nobody has opened it, and all the medicines are there inside it. And whenever you will open that first aid kit, there is a form inside. You have to fill that form that okay, you have used this medicine. Okay. So if you have used this medicine, you kept the form inside it. So whosoever will open it next time, the ground staff or the engineering staff, they will put that particular medicine in it